Today we're going to be talking about something really important, and that is love. Hit 'em with that smooth jazz. That's love right there. Oh yeah. Coming at you from Dr. Love today. Oh yeah. What is wrong with me? So, today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit of the things that I'm learning. And Carly and I have been doing some premarital counseling for our wedding, which is July 18th, as you all should know by now. And part of the thing that we have to do for that is read a book called The 5 Love Languages. And it's by this guy named Gary Chapman. And the 5 love languages, I wanted to talk to you guys about how we can show love to other people inside of our lives. So I wanted to speak into all of those 5 different love languages. And it starts off with just the list of what the 5 love languages are that you can show love to other people with. And number 1 is physical touch. Number 2 is quality time. 3, acts of service. 4, gifts. 5, words of affirmation. And all of these different types of ways to show somebody that you love them and for them to receive love are so important, because sometimes we can try to be showing someone how much we care, but have you ever had that time where it backfires and you're like, oh my gosh, they don't even appreciate the gift that I got them, or they don't even want to be around me anymore because I've been spending so much time with them, but I just love spending time with them because they're awesome. And sometimes we can feel like we're overwhelming someone else with the way that we love them. And most of the time, the best way that we show love to others is actually the way that we best receive it. If you're like me, quality time is your number 1 love language, with a secondary of physical touch. I like to call it, quality touch time. But the thing about it is that we can show others love and start to appreciate them a little bit more if we start to understand where they're coming from. And this is basically an idea that's called empathy. And just being empathetic, seeing where the other person, putting yourself in their shoes and trying to understand where they best feel, particularly in this case, loved. And I think that sometimes we can miss the mark. Sometimes we can think that we're doing a great thing when in reality it doesn't mean very much to the other person. And I'm one. I thoroughly and fully believe that you can communicate across all 5 different love languages. I actually got to spend a little bit of that with Leah Berry the other week. I got to drop off her prize, which was like a gift, right, to her family for her winning at Zoom the other week. And I got to give her this gift, and then we ended up spending so much time at their house just hanging out. We even got to play laser tag, which is more of like a physical activity, bordering on that physical touch, giving them high fives and fist bumps and stuff like that. And then, we got to talk about how awesome they are and how cool they are to be going through this, and how strong they are as students, both Leia and Kendra and Jocelyn and Monica, for that matter. So that's one thing that I try to do. It's something that I don't always get right, don't get me wrong, but my goal is to try and reach you all with all 5 different love languages, because I want you to know, no matter how you receive love best, that I do love you guys. And I want you guys to know through whatever way that you best feel comfortable with. It makes me think of Julia Tiemann. Her and I always go in for a fist bump with her, and she always snails me. You know what I'm talking about? Like whenever you go snail, she does that every time. Kind of drives me crazy, but it's a way that we connect, and it's a really cool way that we can show each other that we care about one another. And I think that we all have an opportunity to grow and learn from other people's perspectives on how to love people. I don't know if you know this or not, but that's part of Bright's mission statement, is to love God, love people, and impact the world. And that only happens when we're purposeful and intentional on trying to meet other people's needs, meeting people where they are and trying to show love to them in whatever way they receive it. And so my encouragement for you all is to think about each of these aspects, each of these different types of love language. Physical touch, it doesn't mean that you have to go around and greet everybody with the holy kiss, which that's actually in the Bible. I don't know where, but I'm sure I'll put it in after editing. But doesn't mean we have to go around hugging everybody, kissing everybody, showing everyone all of these incredible ways of physical affection. But maybe it starts with a handshake, saying hello, it's nice to see you today. Or maybe it's a high five, saying, yeah, you're awesome, because you are, and they are. Even in the most annoying person, it's God's creation, and there's something awesome about them. So you can always give them a high five, give them a fist bump, give them a bro hug, you know what I'm talking about, where you, bah, just like that. Or you could even give them the man hug, where you just, men don't actually hug. We just like a little grab and then let go. You can't hold on for too long. I don't know what that's about. I'm a hugger, if you guys didn't know. So I'm perfectly content doing that and actually hugging somebody. But some people feel uncomfortable with it, so I try to meet them again, have that empathy with them wherever they are, seeing it from their shoes, and try to meet them where they are. You could also think about words of affirmation. Carly, my fiance, that's actually her number one, or number two. It's either that or quality time. They're those are the two that I know are her biggest ones, are quality time and words of affirmation. Words of affirmation, you can do that so many different ways. Me personally, I love writing letters to people, actual letters, not just A, B, C. No, I mean like a letter that you send in the mail, and just affirming them on how crazy awesome, how incredible I think that they are. And every word that I write in those letters, if you've ever received one, every single word is true. And I see it as a way that I can show you all how much I love you just through my words. And then acts of service, just through my actions. I want to serve you all. But if you want to be one to show acts of service, maybe that's some way that you can start. Help clean up around the house. Actually mow the lawn with your parents and don't complain about it. And that's a huge aspect of acts of service, is you're willing to show somebody else love with that. It shouldn't be complaining about it throughout the whole thing. We actually talked about that this past Sunday, being the hands and feet of Jesus for someone else. Because that's the God that we serve. He decided to wash the disciples' feet. I just say feet. Feet. Jesus washed the disciples' feet. And we have opportunities to serve other people. And that shows how much you love them. Whether it's mowing the yard or doing the dishes, taking out the trash without being asked, and other people inside of your life, maybe helping them with their homework, not giving them the answers, but helping them see the steps along the way. Because giving them the answers is cheating. We don't condone cheating at Bright Christian Church. Period. Exclamation point. And we could also look at quality time. Just spending that time with somebody. You don't even have to be doing anything. That's one of my favorite things about quality time. I just love being around people and spending time with them. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care if we're, skydiving, which sounds really awesome. I'm trying to see if I can get Carly to do that. I just want to do it once in my life. We'll see if she actually, allows me to. We don't have to be doing anything like crazy awesome, like skydiving or going to an amusement park, like that one that's near us up in Mason, Kings Island. Kings Island. We don't have to be doing something crazy awesome for it to be quality time. All it means is that we're spending time together in each other's presence. And that can be one of the best gifts that, again, I can receive. And right now, that's really difficult with all of this quarantine stuff. But you guys have the opportunity to do that through technology. I know it's not the same. Trust me, I know, because it's my number one love language, and it's been difficult not having that quality time with people. But we can still spend time with one another. That's why I love the Zoom calls on Sunday nights at 6 and Wednesday night at 6, because we just have an opportunity to spend it with one another. And there was this old practice back in the day. It was actually the Quakers. Quakers would actually literally just sit around with one another and do absolutely nothing. And it was a really cool practice because they would actually just enjoy one another's company and enjoy company with God in their midst at the same time. Gifts can be literally anything. Just the thought that goes behind the gift speaks volumes more. Everybody says that. It's the thought that counts. Most of the time, it's the people that are giving the gift and they know it's a really crappy gift, but they couldn't help but give it to them. But there's also different aspects of just, it really does matter what the thought behind it is. Whenever we give something that is a reflection of how we feel about them, man, that can communicate love in such a great way. One of my favorite gifts. Listen, I gotta be honest with you all. I am terrible at gift giving. But, generally speaking, my gifts are thoughtful. They're just not great, in my opinion. Because they're really dumb stuff most of the time. which shouldn't be shocking because, I mean, I am me after all. So, so one of my favorite gifts that I gave somebody, her name was Hannah Kahandig, and I gave her this trophy of a star because, she loved space and stuff like that, but it was also a time where she was going through a really dark period of her life. Stars bring light. Crazy. But it also was a reminder of, one of her favorite songs. And so I just wanted to help her out during that difficult time in her life where she was going through a really dark place, and bring some light onto it, and help her know that, there is light at the end of it. So different gifts you can communicate. And it meant so much to her, and it meant so much to me. And we have the opportunity to show love to others. And I hope that you are willing to show love to those around you, especially your parents, especially your siblings during all of this time, because it is tough. But we have an opportunity to step inside that and show love to others. So let's be people who do love God, love people, and through that, we can impact the world. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys can start putting that into practice. But as always, may your hearts be full and your day be bright.